Hey guys, what's going on? Wanted to jump on here. Had a couple people in the office this morning doing script practice, which was awesome. Got to work and watch them go through the script with each other, but wanted to go ahead and take time to record what we talked about today. So that way everybody else could get the benefit, even though you weren't able to come in this morning. So I'm going to share my screen with you and I am going to go through the script that we talked about. So we did qualifying buyers. Are you an A, B, or C buyer? And then we added some things to this. So this is going to be added onto the post, onto the Facebook group page, so you guys can get to this. But I'm just going to read through it real fast, give you an idea. Again, the concept is not to make sure that your scripts are verbatim. You're gonna have some things where you wander a little bit. You're gonna have where you need to make it your own, but you have to have the foundation first, and that way you know where you're going. Okay, so I'm talking to a buyer. This is something that it may sound like. All right. So hey, here at the Keller Williams Realty Services team, we want our motivation to match your motivation. This means that if you need to buy a home today, you probably want me to call or text you every time a new listing becomes available that matches your needs, right? Now, if you are not really in a hurry to buy, you probably don't want me to call or text you every time a new listing becomes available. Perhaps an email would work better for you in this situation. Nevertheless, by completing the form that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, you will help us make sure that we match your motivation on buying a home. Now, when touring our office, it doesn't take long to see how busy our buyer department is. And for you, the buyer, that's a good thing. You want a buyer specialist who is active and really knows the market. Touring our office, you probably also noticed our buyer activity board. These boards serve a couple of purposes for us. One is to enable us to match properties with specific buyer needs. The second reason, and the most important, is to classify all of our buyers by motivation. In order for our team to focus on your real estate needs, we first must determine your motivation and your readiness to buy. Since all buyers don't have the same needs, we categorize our buyers by motivation as follows. After all, we don't want to bug you. We don't want to become a pest by calling you if you're not ready to buy. We want to give you great customer service no matter what priority you are. So, if I can, I'm going to go through these with you. Our A buyers are our highest priority buyer. These are the people who have to buy a home. Maybe they've sold their home already. Maybe they transferred into town for a new job, or maybe they have a lease and it's about to expire. In many cases, if we don't find them a home right away, they could potentially become homeless. Our second highest priority buyer are our B buyers. These are people who are ready to buy, except maybe they still have to sell their home. Maybe they're in a lease that doesn't expire for a little while, or in a stage of getting pre approval. Our third highest priority buyer is our C buyer. These people may buy a home when the right one comes along. As you can see, if you are a B or C buyer, it does not mean you are less important to us. Your needs are paramount to this. This is about you. It only means we are working to find homes for our A buyers first, since they could become homeless if we don't find them one. And remember, you could quickly become an A buyer and become our top priority. We will always do our best to accommodate you. Should your motivation during this time change at any time, please let us know so we may adjust our motivation to match yours. Now, with all of that being said, Mr. Buyer, if you can take a look at this, it just kind of re outlines our A, B, and C buyer priorities. Based on what we talked about, could you select which one you think that you guys are? And then you're going to put it on that little line there. And then we're going to sign this just so we all know what we're working with. Okay? Does that sound fair to you? An end script. So what I did is I went through and I explained all of this, right? It could be in more of a conversation. Obviously, I'm doing this just one on one to the computer. So you can have a conversation and explain as you're going through it. But what you're allowing the buyer to do is set up how involved they want you to be, right? So a couple things that I want to add to this script for you. So this is bonus material. Number one, if an A buyer is the top priority and you need to be working for them, you're probably reaching out to them once a day or once every couple days. You're staying in very, very constant communication. A B buyer, you're not, right? They have other things that have to happen. So I would say probably every couple weeks is fine, right? The C buyer is the third priority list. They're going to buy a home when the right one comes along. So you may not have to talk to these people, but every couple weeks, maybe once a month, right? You have to judge that based on that person, but you don't want your C priority people to gobble up all of your time and energy because you need to be able to show houses to your A buyers, write contracts right away, and get them moving. Hopefully that makes sense. The second piece of bonus material that I want to add for you guys today is the concept of ready, willing, and able. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a whiteboard here. So ready, willing, and able. So ready, willing, and able is part of the A, B, and C buyers, in my opinion. If someone is ready, willing, and able, then they're an A buyer. They want to buy a house, they're ready. They're willing to write an offer, and they're able to actually write the offer because they've been pre qualified. They've been pre approved for a certain amount. If you are only two of the three, I want to buy a house, I'm willing to write an offer, but I haven't been pre approved. So I'm ready, I'm willing, but I'm not able. I'm a B buyer. And then the last one is one, if any of these, is your C buyer. A lot of times you have people that are ready. I want to buy a house. I'm willing to write an offer, maybe, but my credit score is 500, right? I'm not able. So they're a C buyer. They're going to need some love from you, but they are definitely going to take some time before they are ready to buy a house. Okay. So hopefully this is something that you guys can use. Again, with script practice, all we're doing is worrying about conversations, getting good at our dialogue. So that way we know what to say through the whole process, not verbatim, not word for word, but in a way that we know where we're going, having the end in mind. So if we deviate off, they ask a question that's not on this script, we can bring them back to trying to get where we want to go. So hopefully this helps qualifying your buyers as A, B, or C and having the conversations with them to make sure that you're matching your motivation to theirs. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day, guys.